World's biggest clock hides a big secret, Makkah Royal Clock Tower. The Makkah Royal Clock Tower is home to the world's largest clock and a gold-plated crescent. When the tower was being constructed, the Saudi king requested to install a glass facade at the top, designed to look like a massive diamond from a distance. Above this diamond-like structure, the world's largest crescent, plated with 24-karat gold, was to be placed. Only one company in the world could complete such a task, which was the renowned German company, Ruhr GmbH. However, a major challenge arose as the engineers and the owner of Ruhr were non-Muslims, and as per Saudi law, only Muslims are allowed entry into Makkah. Since Ruhr had already taken the project and thus they needed a solution for it. The Makkah Royal Clock Tower features the world's biggest clock, with each side measuring 43 meters. In terms of area, just one clock face covers 16,000 square feet, equivalent to about 35 plots of 500 square yards each. This iconic structure, completed at a cost of $16 billion, is one of the most expensive skyscrapers ever built. It is also the only building in the world where the highest man-made occupied floor exists, inside the crescent at the top of the tower. Though today it is the fourth tallest building globally, when construction began, it was planned to be the tallest. Before 2002, this location was home to Ayad Fortress, built in 1780 during the Ottoman Empire for the protection of the Kaaba. Makkah is a sacred city where millions of Muslims come for Hajj. Religious tourism contributes significantly to Saudi Arabia's economy, adding $12 billion annually. Due to this, Makkah has the highest number of hotel rooms in the world, approximately 250,000, surpassing Dubai and Las Vegas. Initially, King Abdulaziz planned to replace Ayad Fortress with a complex to accommodate the increasing number of visitors. Later, he decided that one of the towers should be more than just a hotel, it should serve as a minaret for the mosque. But there was a problem. The original foundation was designed for a 450-meter tower, and increasing its height to 600 meters would put additional stress on the base, potentially making it unsafe. The structure was carefully designed to distribute its weight evenly over the concrete base. Around it, the world's largest clock and crescent were installed. To further reduce weight, the floors inside the steel structure were built higher than normal and left hollow in the center. Today, these spaces are decorated with artwork, but their real purpose was to lighten the overall load. For the massive clock, Germany's Beret company, with 165 years of experience, was chosen. Installing and operating the world's largest clock at 450 meters above the ground was no easy task. The clock hands had to be designed to withstand strong winds. The minute hand measures 23 meters, and the hour hand is 17 meters long. If placed vertically, the minute hand would be as tall as a 5-story building. At such heights, wind speeds can exceed 200 kilometers per hour, which could easily dislodge the hands. Since 4 clocks were to be installed on different sides of the tower, the risk was even greater. Engineers initially considered supporting the clock hands with a rail-like structure but feared it would increase maintenance issues. Eventually, the hands were made from special carbon fiber, which is both lightweight and stronger than steel. Unlike steel, carbon fiber doesn't rust and doesn't bend under pressure. A total of 5 sets of clock hands were made, 4 for the tower and 1 spare. Each hand was so large that workers could walk inside them. Special motors, known as clock drives, were installed to operate the clocks, with an extra one kept in reserve in case of malfunction. A maintenance switch was also installed. When pressed, the clock hands align straight, allowing workers to enter for repairs. Choosing the right color for the clock took extensive research. Initially, black and white were considered, but nighttime visibility was poor. After multiple tests, green LED lights were selected, as they provided the clearest visibility. Now, the time is readable from 8 kilometers away, even at night. The clock tower features a total of 2 million LED lights, placed 4 inches apart, creating a massive unified glow. These LEDs were specially designed to withstand Makkah's extreme heat, a process that took over a year. The most challenging and beautiful part of the tower was installing the crescent on top. The crescent is 75 feet tall and equally wide, made of fiberglass mixed with carbon fiber to keep it lightweight, yet it still weighs around 35 tons. Ruwa GmbH was also responsible for designing the diamond-like glass facade and covering the crescent in gold. However, since non-Muslims were not allowed in Mecca, some engineers, including Ruwa's owner, were converted to Islam just to complete the project. Those who chose not to convert worked from Dubai, where they built parts of the clock before shipping them to Mecca. The crescent was covered with 10 million mosaic tiles, each plated with gold. These tiles were cut into 2 cm squares and carefully applied to the surface. Since the crescent was too large to be lifted in one piece, it was split into 4 sections, each weighing about 4 tons. Moving and installing them at 600 meters was a very difficult task. Tower cranes had limited weight capacity, and strong winds could cause a pendulum effect, doubling the weight. As expected, while lifting one section, sudden winds caused it to swing uncontrollably. Workers had to hold it with ropes to prevent it from moving before carefully fixing it into position. The crescent contains 3 floors, which included a meeting room, an office, and a mosque, which is the highest man-made place of worship in the world. The top floor of the crescent is the highest man-made occupied space. In comparison, Burj Khalifa's highest occupied floor is 585 meters, and Shanghai Tower's is 583 meters. Construction of the Makkah Royal Clock Tower began in 2002 and took 9 years to complete, finishing in 2011. At its peak, 20,000 workers were on site at the same time. The clock system is linked to a network that makes it one of the world's most accurate timepieces. At night, the tower is illuminated by 2 million LED lights, visible from 25 kilometers away. The building's chief architect, Gunter Nisch, who designed the entire structure, never got to see it up close due to Makkah's entry restrictions. When the tower was completed, he visited the outskirts of Makkah, viewed it from a distance, and then turned back, and this was the incredible story behind the Makkah Royal Clock Tower.